No, I'm about to go in. Told me that I couldn't do it, but I gotta bring it back. So they're really numb with it. Let's go. Tell me where you're from, where you stay. Now I keep it lit from the coast to the bay. Peace on the right.
If you guys are looking to buy the cheapest and most reliable Madden coins on the market, head over to buymaddencoins.com. They guarantee a 5-minute delivery on all purchases and offer 24/7 customer support. Use code MAZE at checkout for 10% off. Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. In today's video, I'm going to be going over the defensive ebook that I promised in my last gameplay. I've already recorded this video, and when I was editing it, I was kind of feeling like I didn't go over everything super clearly. I didn't explain everything the way I wanted to. So I'm going to re-record this, and I want to give everyone a warning. There's a lot I'm going to go over in this video. So if you are new to the game and don't know your basic adjustments, like sometimes I get comments on my tip videos like, how do you audible to a different formation? How do you motion a receiver? If those are things you're still struggling with, I wouldn't recommend trying to run this defense because there are a lot of adjustments you need to make based on what your opponent is doing in order for it to be successful. With that being said, I'm going to try to go over everything I know about this defense and how I run it in this video. But again, I'm not going to be going over the super basic things like how to press your DBs and stuff like that. Like, I'm just going to say press your DBs instead of actually going step by step. If you saw the clips I posted for the beginning of this video of me running this blitz online, you're going to see that it is a very aggressive defense. We're sending a lot of heat at your opponents. But with that said, if you don't make the right adjustments behind it, then you're going to be giving up a lot of one-play touchdowns, a lot of broken coverages and stuff like that. So without further ado, let's get into the actual video. Before the defense though, guys, the best and worst comments of the day. The best comment of the day goes to Matthew, who said, Maze throws picks just to make the games close and give us the great content he does. Bingo, Matthew, you are exactly right. And the worst comment of the day goes to Crumble, who said, Mazo, that picture gonna make me act up. Now, Crumble, if you liked that picture, then you're gonna love this one. So this is the 3-4 bear defensive ebook. I'm running the Jets playbook. The reason I run Jets because it has 3-4 odd, 3-4 bear, nickel normal, and then big dime 1-4-6. Those are all the formations I run. So in my opinion, Jets is the best defensive playbook in the game. But if you are looking for 3-4 bear and other playbooks, it's also in the 4-6 playbook, Baltimore Ravens playbook, the Chicago Bears playbook, New York Giants playbook, and New York Jets playbook. So like I said, I'm in the Jets. I would recommend running Jets if you don't already. Love this playbook. And I'm going to be going over how to stop the run out of this formation, how to run that blitz that I run online, and then how to play coverage if you decide to do so. Honestly though, I'm only usually in this formation if I'm running the blitz. Because if I'm going to stop the run, I'm going to usually go to 3-4 odd. And if I'm going to play coverage, I'm usually going to go to big dime 1-4-6. So I'm usually only in 3-4 bear if I want to run this blitz. But let's get right into it, guys. The blitz is going to be pinch buck O. I know pinch buck O out of 3-4 odd was really popular at the beginning of the year. But this pinch buck O is a lot better in my opinion. And I'll explain why when we get into the play in a minute. So I'm going to call pinch buck O. And then on offense, we're going to go against gun bunch. So I'm going to show you against probably the most popular passing formation in the game, gun bunch. So calling gun bunch right there. Oh, I forgot I have to choose an action play. I'm just going to choose Miami Verts. So this is the blitz we're going to have when we come out. Again, it is a man blitz. You got 6 blitzing linebackers. Now, the reason I love this blitz so much is because you have 7 dudes all lined up on the line ready to blitz. And so if your opponent doesn't block 7, so let's say the main adjustment I'm always going to make is I'm going to blitz all my linebackers. So that's going to have 7 blitzers. Just that's the only adjustment I've made. And if your opponent is not blocking 7, you're going to have 2 guys screaming off the edge. I had 3 guys coming in free there. But it's so simple and easy to get that 7-man blitz set up. If you come out in 3-4 odd, you're usually going to have your linebackers starting off the ball. So you're going to have to make a few adjustments to get them down on the line. But in 3-4 bear, they automatically start out there. So the adjustments I'm normally going to make just to run like a 7-man blitz, I'm just going to press my DBs, again, blitz my linebackers, and I'm going to crash my line in. So those adjustments can be made literally in 1 second. So if I reset the play, I'm going to show you how fast I can make them. I'm going to start in 3, 2, 1, done. And so like, you saw that literally took 1 second, and now the blitz is already set up. And from there, everything you do after that is going to be adjustments to stop your opponent from getting yards if they do pick up the blitz. Now, if you guys watch my clips also, something I do out of this a lot is I will send 8. I know sending 7 is bad enough, but sending 8 is the glitch. If you're playing against somebody who's in gun bunch, all I got to do is basically max protect, and they're going to pretty much pick up any 7-man blitz. So you got 7 blockers now on offense, you got 7 blitzers on defense. When I hike the ball, you see the blitz gets picked up. Because you have one-on-ones, you're going to get block shed still, especially if you have glitchy pass rushers. But that blitz was picked up. Now, another reason why this is so good is if I set up my blitz, just press blitz linebackers, crash my line. And you see I'm on Chung right here. If I just blitz Chung, the DB I'm on, now I have an extra blitzer coming in there. And on offense, if I max protect, so I'm max protecting, defense I'm sending 8. And when I hike the ball, you see we got guys screaming in there, and that's against a max protect. Now, like I said, sending 8 is super aggressive on defense. However, you are going to get sacks. And right now in Madden, strip sacks are so common. I'd say about like 25% of the time you take a sack, your quarterback's going to fumble it. And like I said also, most of the time people aren't blocking 7 to start. So you're going to have a lot of sacks right out of the gate because they're not going to be blocking 7 every single play. So those are the simple adjustments of the blitz. I'm usually either going to be sending 6, 7, or 8 every single time. So something I didn't really talk about is personnel. You're going to want your fastest pass rushing linebackers at the linebacker spots. So I'm talking guys like Lawrence Taylor, Jadeveon Clowney, Von Miller, fast pass rushing linebackers. What I actually do for my defense is I put Ryan Shazier at the end here where Kyle Van Noy is at my left outside linebacker position because he's got really high speed and it's super glitchy. Him coming off the edge, he makes a ton of plays for me. And so that's the personnel for linebackers. And for your DBs, you're going to want really fast corners that can play man coverage really well, high press. Usually, Deion Sanders is what everyone has, and Deion Sanders will do fine. But the reason you want fast corners is because I like to come down and press no matter what, so I don't want to worry about them getting beat over the top if I'm pressing. So getting back into the pinch buck play, and I'm going to go back to gun bunch. I'm going to start talking about some adjustments you make behind the blitz to make sure that your opponents aren't going to dot you up down the field. So there's a few zones that I'm going to use more than any other in this defense, and one of them is something that most people probably don't even understand how it works. So I'm going to set up the blitz actually. So the blitz is all set up, and then now I'm going to talk about some adjustments. My main zone that I like to use is soft squat. Now, most people don't understand how a soft squat works, and they might switch it to a cloud flat, they might play a hard flat, but a soft squat is a lot different than that. So when I put my outside corner on a soft squat, so again, that's double tap triangle, go to my outside corner, and a soft squat is the left stick to the right. To explain what a soft squat does is it has matching assignments. So he's going to match that outside receiver vertically unless that running back threatens the flat. So we're going to take a look at that right now. So on offense, I'm going to block everyone, and we're just going to take a look at that left square receiver, Williams. He's on a streak. Now, if you look at my defense, we only have a squat out there. So most people would see that and say, oh, he's going to run right by the soft squat. But because on offense, there is nothing from the running back, there's no threat in the flats, he's going to match that streak, and it's going to become man coverage. So you see that he ran and completely stayed with that streak, even though he was in a soft squat. Now, I'm going to show you what happens if I set up the blitz, if I go on offense, put a soft squat out there again, and now this time, he's got a streak, but I'm going to put a running back on a wheel route. So he's going to start matching that streak vertically, and then he's going to break off to go play the running back in the flats. However, because the running back is leaving and now threatening the flats, I'm going to have a linebacker screaming off the edge. So your opponent is not going to have time to throw the streak. He's only going to have time to basically dump it off to the flat, or else he's going to take a sack. So now you're kind of in this situation on defense where you're always going to be right. If he blocks his running back, that corner is going to play the streak. If he doesn't block his running back, that corner is going to play the hard flat, and then he's going to take a sack, or he's going to dump it off and get tackled for a short gain. So we're going to take a look at that right now, what that's going to look like. And see how fast that pressure came in because I didn't block my running back. I'm going to look at the replay and show you guys. So the reason he can't throw this streak still is because he matches vertically to start the play. He is matching this streak vertically. His hips are open. He is running with the streak. Your opponent cannot throw the streak. Then once the running back gets out here, you see how he drops his hips and plants and goes back to the running back. But as you can see, the quarterback already got sacked. So you're in a situation with that zone on that individual side where you're always going to be right. People do not understand how that zone works, so they don't really know how to utilize it. But when you're running a defense like this, it's really important that you know how those zones work. Now, of course, your opponent is going to be able to dump it off to the flats, but if you click on right as he throws it and just run straight, it's going to be a gain of like 1 to 2 yards unless there's a broken tackle. But no one is going to drive 80 yards down the field continually throwing 1 to 2 yard flat routes to their running backs. Now, another thing, if he's sending guys in the flats and not blocking, you can start sending less. Ideally, what you want to do with this defense is you're always going to want to only send one more blitzer than they're blocking. That's kind of the way I think of it as a chess match. If they're blocking 5 and you send 8, then guess what? Your opponent won because now he has 5 people on routes and you only have 3 men in coverage. It's a chess match in that way because if he's blocking 5 and you only send 6, then now you have an equal guys in coverage as he does in routes, and you have a free blitzer coming in to sack the quarterback. Now, I'm hoping that all makes sense. You never want to blitz more people than are necessary. So again, if your opponent's not blocking anybody, there's no need for you to send 8 because you're getting pressure regardless. And something else is I usually will only send 7 because the way this blitz is, it's so glitchy that a lot of times you'll have a linebacker or a D tackle just slip through one of the gaps, or you'll have a guy off the edge and the running back will completely miss his block. Online, the blocking is pretty terrible, so if you're sending 7, even against 7 blockers, I usually get at least 1 guy free. Now, if we take a look at how this soft squat is going to play on the other side of the field, it's a lot different. Because it's not a single receiver side, there's a 3 receiver side, the soft squat is going to play like a soft squat. However, a soft squat is much better to me than a cloud flat or a hard flat. I'm going to show you why. So on offense, we got everyone blocked. On defense, we got it all set up. We got 2 soft squats on the outside. So naturally, you would think that the vertical routes on the right side of the field are going to be open. So let's take a look at the right side, and I'm going to show you how that soft squat plays this wheel route. You saw how deep down the field he ran with that wheel route. Now let's take a look. Because there's no one threatening him shallow on the flat, look how far down he runs the field with this wheel route. He's pretty much covering this thing 20 yards into its route, and then even though we block the blitz, we still end up getting a block shed and taking a sack. Now, a lot of times online, if you have these pass rushing linebackers that are super fast, they're going to be getting the quarterback so fast, and those soft squats playing deep really enable you to play aggressively blitzing because you're just banking that your pressure is going to come in there. Now, of course, there's always a possibility that you want to blitz 8, so if you press set up the blitz again, and then you bring Chung down here and blitz. It's very easy to blitz 8. You can try to contain again and have Chung on the contain angle. So now we only have 3 guys in coverage. We're going to have 2 soft squats on the outside, and then your opponent is blocking 7. And again, online, most people are not expecting you to blitz 8, and they will absolutely fall apart if you start sending 8 of them. They won't know what to do. So again, we're going to take a look. That soft squat playing so deep enables us to play aggressively. So I'm going to have my user in the middle of the field. And you saw there was no chance for anything to get open. And we blitzed 8. He max protected. There was nothing he could have done. So again, guys, taking a look. This is a max protect out of bunch. Usually this will lock up just about anything. And we have a free blitzer coming off the edge. The soft squat on the left side matched the vertical route. So he's staying with them. That's covered. It's man coverage now. This is my user covering the crossing route right here. And then right here, this soft squat is playing so deep that there was never a chance for him to throw that ball. See, he took the sack. He took the sack right here. And if he throws this route, this is an interception. There's literally nothing he can do at that point. There's only 3 routes on the field. You got 3 guys in coverage, and you're playing really aggressively. Now, can he throw little flat routes? Like, let's say this was a flat route. Can he throw this? Yes, he could throw this. But if he throws it and you click on and you go tackle him, that's going to be like a 1 to 2 yard gain, and you can give that up all day because I'm going to be honest, guys, most players are not patient enough to ding and dunk you 1 to 2 yards down the field the entire drive. Now, I'm not going to recommend playing soft squats all the time because soft squats can be dangerous. Again, if you guys saw my gameplay I posted from this past weekend league, you're going to see I gave up a lot of really big touchdowns because if your coverage does break, there's no one behind it to stop it. So the zone I'd probably utilize more than anything because I use soft squats a lot. But the zone I utilize more than anything. So I'm going to set up my blitz. are quarters. Quarters, in my opinion, are the best this year. So on the left side, we have that matching personnel because it's a single receiver side. By the way, soft squats are only going to work that way on the single receiver side. So it's not going to match vertically the same way on the bunch side, as you saw. It does still play deeper than a regular cloud flat, plays deeper than a hard flat, obviously, but it's not going to match vertically like it does on that single receiver side. So what I'll do here is I'll keep the soft squat over there. And then on the right side, I want to utilize quarters of some kind. So usually here, I'll put soft squat from circle, and then I might put McCourty in an inside quarter, and then I'm going to use her down low. And so the quarters, you really got to learn to use them a lot because quarters play very, very well. All right, so now that I've kind of explained how the adjustments work that I like to use, I'm gonna run what I would do for a bunch look. So this is bunch right here. So we already established that soft squat on the left side is going to play really well. So I'm going to leave that there. Then if they're compressed like this in the bunch, I'm going to do exactly what I just showed you, where I have an inside quarter and a soft squat on the right side. Now, if they motion somebody, if they take this receiver and motion him like this, then I'm going to change that soft squat to a quarter. Because if they motioned him and this guy was on a streak, so if that was what they were giving you, let's say the block, this is what they're giving you. He was on a streak instead of a wheel, and I had my outside guy in a quarter. We're going to show you what that would look like here. And you could get beat deep right there. So if they motion him out, then I'm going to change it to a quarter, an outside quarter. But if they're compressed like that, I'm going to have a quarter over the top, like an inside quarter, and then a flat to the outside. You can make this a cloud flat if you'd like, because it might play a little bit more aggressively. So again, that's what I'm specifically doing for bunch guys, and then I'm obviously going to hover right here too, and if they don't block 7, you're going to get a sack immediately. But if you have a good user over the middle of the field and you switch up your adjustments every now and then, that should be basically how you can box bunch. Now, second adjustment I want to talk about is a 3-rec zone. This is another zone that most people don't really understand how it works specifically. And you can, I know how it's supposed to work, but that's not usually always how it plays. So I'm going to tell you how to get a 3-rec on the field. You might say, what the hell is a 3-rec? So if you try to adjust somebody, 3-rec or whatever isn't on the field. So you only have really a hook curl, which is a yellow zone in the middle of the field. But a 3-rec, I'm going to audible to a cover 3. Notice how Bentley right here, this is a 3-rec. That is different than a hook curl. A lot of people see yellow zones and they kind of just think all yellow zones play the same. But a 3-rec, like a soft squat, has matching assignments. It makes it play wild. So to get a 3-rec on your field, you're going to go to 3-4 bear. You're going to come out in pinch buck O. And then on offense, we're going to go back to the same play. And so you see we're in pinch buck O. And the reason we come out in pinch buck O is to get that linebacker on the left to line up down on the line. If you come out in cover 3, both of your linebackers line up off the ball. They don't line up on the line of scrimmage like they're blitzing. So now when we come out in pinch buck O and then we audible to a cover 3, you're going to see immediately this guy comes back. But once we base a line, he goes right back to where he was. And then now Chung is the one in the 3-rec. So that's why we do that, because then once we blitz all our linebackers, now we're right back to that same pinch buck look. So that might seem pretty complicated, but basically you just come out in pinch buck O. If you want the 3-rec on the field, you got to audible to cover 3, and then base the line press, and then blitz your linebackers. So you can do that really fast. So again, guys, I'm going to restart and show you how fast I can do that. We're in pinch buck O right now, and in 3, 2, 1, we're already set up like that, okay? And then from there, it's the same blitz as the pinch buck O, except now this guy's in a 3-rec. And now what a 3-rec does, what people call a 3-rec is like having a second user on the field. So if you shade down with your 3-rec, they're going to come low and play all drags, flat routes, and stuff like that. If you shade over the top, they're going to play the higher route. So whether it's a crosser, or if we look at our offense here, that crosser. So basically, he's going to choose between that the table route by Eckler or the crosser by Allen. So first, I'm going to show you when I shade down underneath. Let's watch how Chung right here plays, all right? I'm just going to call the play. So you see, he was in perfect position waiting for Eckler to come across. Okay, so we have the blitz set up again, and I kind of realized a better way to show this, I'm going to have a drag from Williams on the left side, and then I'm going to keep everyone else on their same route and max protect. But once again, I'm going to shade underneath, and let's watch how Chung and that 3-rec is going to play. See how he runs down there and covers that drag? That's going to stop your opponent from throwing those drags late on the other side of the field. So again, this isn't like a regular zone. This zone plays super glitchy. He starts off, stays with Allen. He's running with Allen on that crosser. Then he sees the drag coming across the field, and he comes down and plays that drag. The 3-rec, if you have somebody with high zone coverage like an Ed Reed or somebody like that, they're going to play so insane. If you look at this drag, there's no other zone that's going to stay on a drag like this. So we got the 3-rec on the field again. I'm going to set up the offense the same, and now we're going to see how he plays. We're going to shade on defense over the top. So shading over the top, and we're going to watch how Chung plays it this time. Notice he stayed with the crossing route this time. Notice he stays with the crossing route this time because I shaded over the top. So instead of taking the down low drag, he decides to stay with the high route. So basically your 3-rec automatically knows there's a high and a low route. At the beginning of the play, he's going to choose a high and a low route. Whether you shade over the top or underneath is going to determine what he runs with. Usually I'm going to shade underneath and have them play aggressively on the flats. Now something else I want to talk about. If you are setting up this defense, so I'm going to set it up again. And then you want to put soft squats on the field. So let's say I want a soft squat on the left side, a 3-rec in the middle. Again, these are great glitchy zones. So let's say this is what you want. You want a quarter on the outside right, a soft squat on the left, and then a 3-rec over the middle, and you're going to play high. You're going to play deep. Now you can't really shade with the 3-rec. So actually, I don't even know how it plays without shading. So we're gonna run the same little experiment here. Let's see how it plays. Look at how glitchy that zone is. Like, this is so glitchy. Look at how he plays this. He's like literally baiting. He's coming down low. He's low, low, low. Then he runs back high. And then he goes back down low. He's literally baiting the quarterback. There's no other zone that's going to play like that. That's so glitchy. So the 3-rec is going to get a ton of interceptions for you because your opponent is not going to know what the hell that 3-rec is about to do. All right, so the last thing we're going to do, guys, is I'm going to call pinch bucko. We're going to go against random play. And I'm basically going to show you the adjustments I would make based on what formation comes out. So, random play here. This is what I'm doing right here. Again, I got a quarter on the outside. I got a soft squat on the left. I kept a 3-rec in the middle. And then I'm going to play deep middle over here. Okay, so that's what I would do here. Let's run the play. All right, next formation. That's what I would do right there. So I'm blitzing 8 on this play. We got a cloud flat on the right, and then I'm going to use this slot receiver right here. There's no way he's blocking this. If he drops back to pass, he's going to take a sack. If he throws a corner route, McCourty over here is going to intercept it. If he goes deep on the left, you got it covered. There's nothing that can really threaten this right side vertically, so that's why I only have Chung here on a cloud flat. And then, like I said, I'm blitzing 8, so there's not really much he's going to be able to do. Like you see, it's like an auto sack. That's what I'm doing here, guys. So again, it's another tight formation. There's nothing going to be pressing me vertically to the outside. So unless he motions a receiver wide, I'm not going to put a deep zone on the outside of the field, especially because I'm blitzing 7. So there's a wheel route or a really deep corner route is not going to have time to develop. So there's no threat to me vertically. So I'm not going to waste a zone. So run the play. Let's see how this happens. Looks like it's a run play. We stop it in the backfield. On the last look here, guys, again, I'm probably going to blitz 8 here. Again, it's going to be the same look as before. Again, my user is going to be McCourty. I got the cloud flat to the right, and then I'm blitzing 8. So, again, guys, very aggressive defense. Those are some adjustments, but you're going to see you need to really know your adjustments and practice with this because you're going to be changing it based on whatever formation your opponent puts you in. But now I'm going to talk about some run defense. So if I'm trying to stop the run, I'm usually going to be in 3-4 odd. I'm going to run edge blitz. I already posted a video on that. But if you want to stay in this 3-4 bear, the pinch buck, the blitz that you've been running is very aggressive against the run. You're either going to hit him in the backfield for a 4 or 5 yard loss, or they're going to get a 60-yard touchdown on you. So usually that's not what I like to play when I play run defense. I'm not looking for a super aggressive run defense. If I'm going for run defense out of 3-4 bear, I'm going to come out in the cover 3, and then I'm going to go against like an I form tight. I'm going to call a stretch. So I'm coming out in this cover 3. What I'm going to do is just spread my linebackers, blitz all my linebackers, and then I'm going to back them up outside manually. Okay, and then I'm going to get back on my free safety. So then we run the blitz, or this is what our defense is going to look like for run defense. Then when they run it, you see because he backs off so far, the blockers don't register him as a threat and he doesn't get picked up. So this run defense is pretty good. Again, I backed my linebacker all the way out here, so then there was no blocker that picked him up and he came in free and hit him in the backfield. It's pretty solid run defense, so if you're trying to stop the run out of 3-4 bear, that's exactly what I'm doing. I don't need to get into it too much, you guys. And then the final thing I want to talk about in this video, guys, if I'm playing coverage out of this blitz. So half the time you're going to blitz, half the time you're going to play coverage. So let's say they come out and gun split close. So the whole point of blitzing and playing coverage is to throw off your opponent. So when let's say it's a 4th and short, a 4th and 5, you come out in this 3-4 bear and he's like, holy shit, he's about to blitz the hell out of me. On offense, I'm going to block everyone. I might even motion in an extra blocker because I don't know what the hell you're doing. But secretly, you know you're about to play coverage, all right? So to start, you're going to adjust your corners. So I would usually put my outside corners in outside quarters, okay? That's a start. And then you could take those outside linebackers, the square and the circle linebackers, maybe put them in flats like that, maybe hard flats. And then you could adjust that triangle linebacker into a middle third maybe. And then you could put Chung on a QB spy, and then you could put the X linebacker on a mid read. Like I'm just spitballing here, guys. But as you see, we still have these interior linemen rushing right here, and your opponent is gonna only send out 3 routes because he's expecting a blitz. So that's why it's important to mix in coverage with the blitz, because then you win. Because he's thinking you're blitzing. He's only sending 3 routes. If he's only sending 3 routes and you got this much coverage on the field, there's a solid chance that you're gonna get the stop. The most important thing about coverage is to make it look exactly the same as a blitz. So again, guys, this is what it looks like when you're in the blitz, and then when you're in coverage, it doesn't look much different. See, nobody's even moving. I'm just playing zones on the field now, okay? So your opponent is really not gonna know, and if you mix this in with great adjustments, this is the best defense in the game right now, especially because it's so easy to block 8. I absolutely love this defense, guys. I've never played better than I have with this defense, never gotten more turnovers, never gotten more sacks. But the thing is, it's very aggressive, so always be careful with that. And don't be afraid to mix in other formations like nickel normal, 3-4 odd, big dime 1-4-6. And overall, I think you'll be very successful if you practice it. But anyways, guys, if you liked the video, be sure to leave a like down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you're new, leave any comments on this video if you have any questions regarding this, and I'll try my best to answer any questions. I hope it helps you guys out, and I'll see you guys in the next video.